So I want to talk about my first unofficial order with FoodLoop and what I would rate this app so far. I've been active with them for maybe about 2 weeks and some change, and this was the first order that I actually got coming to my phone in that time. Now, as you guys can see, this is what the screen looks like. I've been active online day and night. I mean, I haven't turned it off, and this is the first time I got something. Interesting enough, in this whole time, I've also been getting messages like this saying that, hey, you've been online for X amount of hours or whatnot, and you haven't taken any orders, everything okay? Which is really strange because I've been online day and night, and this is the only one that I've gotten. And at first I thought maybe it was my phone, but I've recently gotten a new phone and I'm still receiving messages like this. And I know since this is a new app, there's going to be some things that are probably going to be a little wonky. So I'm not trying to step on their necks about that. Even still, we all know how long Grubhub has been around, and I constantly get messages like that from them. Like, hey, we've been unable to find you due to connectivity issues, maybe moving to a better zone. And same thing, I'll be online with them all day and maybe get 1 or 2 or no orders throughout the entire thing. So I'm willing to go through the bumpy roads and understand that not everything's going to be perfect in the beginning. Being a new app, probably don't have a lot of restaurants signed underneath them. I don't know how many drivers are going to be online at that particular time, so we're all fighting for, you know, some crumbs of the cookie. But let's talk about the actual order. So this is what the order card looked like when it came to me. The reason why I didn't take this is because I was on an order for Uber Eats. It was a shop and pay order at CVS. So I screenshot it because no matter what app it is, I'm not just going to randomly take something and not examine it because I want to make sure they're not sending me to freaking Nebraska, right? So I screenshotted it, finished out the Uber order, came back to the same area because that area was hot. I was getting a lot of orders that day. So I pretty much came back to the same area where I would have accepted it because there was a few things I wanted to check out. All right, so on here, it says I would have been going to Nancy's Kitchen. The order was coming in at 311. And then it has the customer's address on here. Clearly, I'm going to be covering that up. So overall, just taking a look at this, from Nancy's Kitchen to the customer's house, it's saying it was going to be 3 miles, which isn't bad. And down here, it looks like the breakdown. It says prepaid $7.99. Your earnings is $8.26, and the customer tips would have been $2.22. And so herein lies my first question. So it says order total prepaid $7.99. I'm guessing that's what the customer paid to the restaurant. Like, that's the total amount for their order. So it says our earnings are going to be $8.26, and the tip is going to be $2.20. So my question is the $2.20 already factored into the $8.26, or is that going to be on top of the $8.26? You know, bringing the total to like like 10 something dollars. So $10 for 3 miles, that's actually really, really good. I mean, even still, $8 for 3 miles, that's actually really, really good. I'm just wanting to know, which way does it go? Do we get only $8.26 because the $2.20 is added in there, or are we going to get the $8.26 plus the $2.20 because that's going to be an additional tip? That's something I wanted to know. Also, the biggest thing that I want to know is, do we get paid for the miles driving up to this store? Because as I said, I went back to the same area that I would have accepted this from, and I screenshot it. I want to show you guys. This is where I would have accepted it, and this is where Nancy's Kitchen would have been from my location. That's a pretty insane distance. And if I remember right, I'll have it all here on the screen, but I think it would have been 17 minutes or 17 miles to drive up there to get this order. Yeah, so 17 miles and the 3 miles for the $10, that's not a good ratio. So I was trying to get some information before I made this video to see, are we going to get paid for the miles actually traveling to that? Because, you know, with Uber and DoorDash, they give you the total miles. I'm not sure that this app is operating like that, which would be a bad thing. And again, I understand since it's new, I'm sure Uber and DoorDash ran into this problem too. Orders are coming in, they only have a handful of drivers. Who's even online for us to try to get this thing fulfilled? I guess I was the only person online that day. That's why they tried to get me to go up there. Or since I've been bothering them so much, as you guys can see here in the chat, when I first got activated, I was like, hey, what's going on with the orders? They're like, you know, we're new, just give us a few minutes, stuff is trickling in, and we're still trying to, you know, get stuff dispatched out to people. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, I'm willing to, you know, bite the bullet and wait. But eventually, you got to tell me something. And even still, they did reach out to me when I was doing the Uber order to ask me, like, hey, would you be able to accept that order? And I just couldn't. Like I said, I needed to examine it. There's some questions I had. And by the time I got back to them, it doesn't look like they were replying back to me. I've been communicating with them for a while, and to not have constant communication, that's not a good thing in my book. I gotta know that if I have an issue, I can reach out to someone to get some answers. Because think about it. If you get to Nancy's Kitchen, they don't have the order, they need something else confirmed, and they're not writing you back right away, who are we supposed to reach out to? Same thing if we get to a customer's house and they have a gate code or not responding, what's the protocol? Do y'all let us drop the orders off like DoorDash and Uber does and take a picture and walk off? Or do you guys want us to dispose of the order without having our accounts, you know, getting some kind of marks on it. Don't know, like, it's all new to me. As I said, when it came to wanting some information about the pay as well as the miles traveled to the store, I put it all here in the dispatch thing. They read it, but I got no response. So I'm not really sure if we're going to get paid to drive to the locations. I don't think we are. Again, that's a bad thing. And if the tips are on top of the earnings, or if the earnings and the tips are already combined. That's something that we need to know. Now, they do have an official number. I'm not sure if you guys have been online or gotten any orders from them already. If you have, please let me know. Maybe you're having a better experience than I'm having right now. But in the official email, there was a phone number to contact them. But this is the phone number that they released by mistake. That's one for the merchant. So like if you were McDonald's or Nancy's Kitchen, that's the number that you would call to have your account set up with them so you can start receiving like those tickets and the receipts. But that's not the official one for us. I'm going to put the one on the screen that we are supposed to call, just in case you guys can't find it. Make sure you guys have the communication, and also the email. This is where you want to message them with any of your questions and concerns. My only thing about that is, like, my only problem about that is, again, it's taking way too long for someone to reach back out to answer simple questions. I know they're new, they probably have a very limited staff, but that's no excuse when we're trying to get stuff answered and you want us to be a part of this, and we're not really sure, you know, how all this works. And I'm a person who asks a lot of questions, so I need some answers. But anyway, my experience with them so far, I'm going to rate them a C-. I'm trying to be patient with it. Like I said, I know it's a new app. A lot of things aren't going to be just as smooth as we're used to seeing with DoorDash and Uber Eats. But even with that said, if you guys want us to pay for this service, I'm expecting a little bit something more premium. Now, for those of you who have signed up or maybe even thinking about signing up, you do get 2 months for free, so I haven't been charged anything. I'm going to let my account ride out to the end of the 2 months and then see if anything changes or gets better. If you guys do go beyond that and start getting the subscription bill, do know you can write this off on your taxes, so it will be a wash, but none of that'll matter if we're not getting any orders. And that's the reason why I signed up for this. I want some orders, and if I'm not getting that, then the app's pretty much useless. So anyway, I'll keep you guys informed. I had a few people write me and ask me what my experience is, and that's my experience so far. If you guys have actually been getting some orders and having a better experience, leave that down below. I'm sure people would like to know how this app is faring for you. I'm also going to take a little accountability, maybe research what's going on my phone, because as I said, Grubhub kind of does the same thing to me too. It says I'm not online, they're unable to reach me, and I've had their app on all day, like 10 hours doing orders out here, and they say they can't even find me. So maybe that's what's going on with this app. I'm just not in a good connection zone. I don't know why. That would be the case for Grubhub and FoodLoop when Uber Eats and DoorDash have no problem sending me anything. But I'm babbling on. Let me go ahead and wrap this up. Since I brought this to your attention about a month or so ago, I do want to let you guys know what you could experience, might be experiencing, and just to be a little bit more transparent about how this app is functioning. I haven't seen anybody make any follow-up videos about this app aside from just announcing that it's on its way. Just like with Corner Shop when I first signed up with them, I was expecting to have a few little bumps in the roads, but these are a few potholes for me right now, and I'm not really digging that. At least with Corner Shop, when you accept an order, you had someone assigned to that order from start to finish. Like you had like your own personal delivery assistants. And I'm saying that because I'm evaluating this outside of an active order. So maybe if I accept the order, they'll be a little bit more responsive to me instead of just some crazy man that keeps messaging in the dispatch thing. But if that's not for us to talk to you guys, then what is it there for? You know what I mean? And as we know with Uber Eats and DoorDash, I don't have to be on an active order to reach out to support to ask them general questions. So something to consider, something to think about, something I'm definitely keeping my eye on. If I get any more information about it, I'll bring you guys another video, or I'll put it in the community tab. But again, if you guys have gotten orders or have started receiving orders, let me know. If I get another one, I'm probably just going to bite the bullet just to take the order, get the experience, and then actually see if we're getting paid from this, because that's the biggest thing. I'm not trying to do a whole bunch of orders and not receive any money from it. Keep your eyes peeled for another video or an update, guys. I'll let you know. And until the next one, peace.